Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Reynolds Field here on the campus of Salve Regina University in beautiful and historic Newport, Rhode Island, where today the Seahawks take on the Bison of Nichols College in Game 2 for the Seahawks of the Commonwealth Coast Conference Baseball Tournament, trying to advance to Friday and remain undefeated in tournament play. The Bison dropped a matchup yesterday, so this is an elimination game for them. Hello again and welcome. I'm Ada Pizzelli bringing you the call here this afternoon. Want to welcome into the booth now my good friend Niall Silverman. Niall, how are you doing, and what do you think about this matchup here today between the Seahawks and the Bison?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful day out in Newport, Rhode Island, and we get to watch some playoff baseball from ours truly, the Salve Regina Seahawks, led off by Braden Clark today. What we're looking for today is really a battle between the Bison's 3, 4, 5 hitters and Braden Clark. Johnny Knox, Brennan Hyde, and Will Kleinhens had a phenomenal day yesterday for the Bison. They combined for 5 hits, 5 runs, and 3 out of 6 RBIs. So controlling the 3, 4, 5 hitter for the Bison is going to be today's keys to the game.
Bison on the year 18, 20, and 1. That one tie came with the Seahawks. Salve won 6-5 in the first game of their conference doubleheader, and then they tied 8-8 in Game 2. That's the lone tie all time between the two teams. Salve owns a 50, 16, and 1 record in the all-time series, as this first ball is fouled down the right field line. Seahawks' last win in the series was that 6-5 victory back on April 2nd. Last win for Nichols was 9-1 here in Newport in the conference tournament in 2019. That victory for the Bison put the Seahawks on the brink. Obviously, they won 4 straight after that and advanced to the Commonwealth Coast Conference Championship game. Defeated the Bison again along the way. And then, if you know, you know, the Seahawks claimed that 2019 crown against the Hawks and have yet to lose it. This one chopped too short, actually third. McCarthy will field and gun, and there's one away.
It keeps, going up.
Cormier, the third baseman, and all-conference honoree for the Bison, will bat here with 1 out.
We'll see if it's a touch of magic. Yesterday's game, which was a great game for the Seahawks staff, started with a ground out to Will McCarthy, just as today's game does. We'll see if that plays a part.
Count will be 1-1.
Andrew, that's a good sign. Great curveball there from Braden Clark. Bottom half the zone.
Knocked in the air. Foul. Count is 1-2. I think yesterday the first, 9 outs were either strikeouts from Pat Maybach or ground outs to third. Here's one knocked foul down the third base line.
Coach tried to get out of the way, wasn't able to. Athletic move by the third base coach to no avail.
Here's the 1-2 from Clark. Again in the air and foul down the right field line. Clark on the mound, catch behind home plate. Canu, Veneruso, Cicada, McCarthy, the infield. D'Amato, Grover, and Petrosino, the outfield. No surprises in the lineup for the Seahawks. The 1-2. Knocked foul again.
Yeah, with the lineup, when there's that many all-conference players and the players that weren't all-conference having played as well as they have all year, especially as of late, not much of an exciting roster change that you're going to see, or lineup change you're going to see.
Cormier, first team all-conference, as he was last spring as well. The 1-2 again. In the air to right field. Petrosino under it, makes the grab. And there's 2 away. And now Johnny Knox, again, another all-conference performer here for the Bison. Second baseman earned third-team all-conference. He led the Bison in home runs this year. He was among the team leader in most other statistical categories. Fans here at that pitch from Clark.
It'd be a really nice way to start the day if we could split apart the 3, 4, 5 hitters. You want to prevent Knox from getting on base, allowing that 4 hitter and Hyde to get up to the plate.
Swing and a miss once again. 2 straight curveballs, 2 straight misses from Knox. See what Clark goes to here. Count 0-2, 2 outs, no one on. The pitch outside, ball 1. One and 2 the count. Here on the top of the first, the pitch. Knocked foul. Straight through the hedges and onto the grounds of Chateau Samer.
One of the best pitches that Braden Clark has is that strong fastball four-seam up in the zone. He hasn't had to use it much so far in the first. That's a good sign.
Pitch right down the middle. Does not get the strike call. Ball 2. Count 2-2. That one did not miss by much.
That's one way to say it, that's for sure.
Here's the 2-2. Catch trying to frame it. Can't get the call. Count is now full, 3-2.
Big pitch. A big battle here at the start of the game. Top of the first. One of the hottest hitters and best hitters in the CCC.
Clark delivers. Breaking ball inside. Got him looking. Knox was on his way down to first. Instead, he'll have to bang a right into the dugout. That'll do it for the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first. Seahawks due up. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field, bottom of the first, no score. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Niall Silberman bringing you the call. Matt D'Amato will lead things off for the Seahawks against Justin Hurley. His first pitch on the corner for a ball. Seahawks did see Hurley earlier this year, Niall, in Game 1 of their conference doubleheader.
What we saw out of him was not a lot of strikeouts. It's not his type of game. He's somebody that's going to attempt to attack the strike zone and force you to roll over. He has a good changeup. We've already seen it twice here today. Both the first 2 pitches of the game have been that changeup. So he's a ground ball pitcher. If the Seahawks can overcome that, it should be a good day for the hitters.
1-1 the count. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Count 1-2. Hurley trying to get the leadoff man, D'Amato. chopped on the ground to first, and easily tagging the bag is Ellis, and there's one away.
That's a good start to the day for Hurley. Exactly what he's trying to do is what he just did. Get himself ahead in counts early in the game, and then use his changeup and his curveball to induce grounders and rollovers, soft contact. He does it there to a great hitter in D'Amato. His change is going to be tough for lefties all day.
Now we'll face Dustin Cicada. One out, no one on. The pitch. Popped up. Fly ball to center. Waiting for it there and making the grab is Karen. 2 down. Dylan catch. Quickly up here. Hurley trying to make this a very quick bottom of the first. No one on, 2 outs.
With a starting pitcher like Hurley going for Nichols, getting early swings is something that he's used to having, so the Seahawks have game plan for that. He's not going to get you on strikes. He's very low strikeout numbers for him. So generally you're going to see as soon as you find a pitch that you want to hit off Hurley, you're going to get that swing, but obviously that comes at the cost of shorter at-bats, not that many walks. Different type of game today.
Gets the strike call on the first pitch to catch. Here comes the 0-1. Same location, same result. 0-2. The 0-2 outside, ball 1. Count 1-2 here. No one on, 2 out. Bottom of the first. The pitch. Swing and a miss from catch. A big strikeout for Hurley. 1, 2, 3. Go the Seahawks. We head to the top of the second, scoreless here in Newport. You're watching Commonwealth Coast Conference Tournament action. We'll be back.
And welcome back to the top half of the second inning here in playoff game number 2 between Salve Regina University and Nichols College. Braden Clark still on the mound out there. He went 1, 2, 3 in the first, but he's about to face the power part of the lineup for Nichols. First pitch from a curveball down in the zone away. One 0 pitch and a healthy hack there from Hyde, as Brennan just misses and fouls that one back. Here's Clark with the set. 1-1 pitch. Beautiful changeup. That could be certainly one of the things to watch today between the two pitchers is the breaking and off-speed pitch work that both of them show. There's another one beautiful from Braden Clark. Just a disappearing act to an inner half on a right-handed hitter for that changeup. In the same way that Hurley was throwing those changeups away to lefties, Braden Clark's doing the same thing into righties. And time has called as it appears the umpire was struck by the foul ball.
Well, I guess that's the other thing about the beauty of having 3 umpires here today. Is worst case scenario, if somebody cannot continue, we can still play ball.
You know, that truly is one of the things that I hadn't thought about, but that is, I mean, an actual difference maker to having 3 umpires in the game. If one goes down, you'd have to pause the game because you would have no field umpire. Versus when you have 3, you have that liability insurance.
Along with the benefits of more eyes to make some calls in the important places on the field.
Especially with change-up pitchers, you're going to have to be looking for those check swings. Here's Braden Clark ahead of 1-2. Beautiful pitch. Fastball located perfectly down on the outer corner of the plate. Strikeout number 2 for Braden Clark. Back-to-back strikeouts in the heart of the order against Nichols College. He struck out Knox and Hyde back-to-back, and now he'll face one of the best hitters Nichols College produced this year in Kleinhens. First pitch swung on and popped up right side. Way out of play. It's a big game for the sophomore Braden Clark here. He comes in this game with experience pitching and beautiful pitch there as he's now early ahead in the count 0-2. But he's had a lot of experience. He's been in every starter for the Seahawks this year. But this is a playoff game with huge implications. Obviously, the 1 seed trying to continue to stay in the winner's bracket as this one's hit up the middle. There's Veneruso. Play, throw first. It is it. Not in time. Beautiful play with the glove, but just not able to deliver a strike over to Canoe in time to get the good runner Kleinhens. But a beautiful piece of fielding.
Yeah, that one just skipped one too many times to get over there in time to first.
He fielded it and fired it practically in unison, but as you're throwing on the run across your body like that, difficult to get a lot of power on the throw. Defense stays shifted. And again, Clark with the curveball early in the count.
Well, this will be the first little test for Clark. You talked about, this being your first playoff game. Pat Maybach yesterday, and very much not his first postseason foray, but really was under no pressure most of the game as they check over on Kleinhens. He dives back safe. So for Clark to, not have to deal with as many pressure situations early, let him really get into a groove and get into the game, key for Salve.
This one swung on, hit center field, and it's down for a base hit. So back-to-back base hits for the Bison. And now they pose a threat here in the top half of the second. Runners on first and second. Only the one out.
Well, now you have it. This is a pressure situation now.
100%. The importance of scoring first is not something that goes unnoticed. It's something that the coaching staff will talk about, the players understand. Scoring first sets the momentum for the game, and that can be tough to overcome. So Clark certainly has the work cut out for him here. He checks back to second. Defense still shifted first. Pitch swung on and missed. There's that changeup yet again. There have been a few base hits, obviously early. This is the second back-to-back base hits, but his pitches are working for him. His stuff is there today. He's using all 3. Here's the 0-1, and there's the curveball. Beautiful. Now he's up in the count 0-2. This would be a huge out, Andrew, with the difference that this game would take, the routes that the game would take if he gets this batter out, and now there's 2 outs first and second, is much different than any other situation, of course.
Absolutely.
Braden checks second. Here's the 0-2. There's the curveball again. This one's popped up right side. Canoe is giving chase, and he is down the hill, and that ball goes out of play. Great effort by the first baseman.
I say good effort there by Canoe. It's a tough spot to give chase because the camera doesn't necessarily show it right now, but there's a precipitous drop on the other side of where the tarp is on the edge of the field there. And so tough place to go try and field, especially running full tilt.
Again, 0-2. Braden Clark from the set. He kicks, delivers, up and in. Not a bad pitch. That's why you get ahead early. He had to back The 6-hole hitter Ellis off the plate there. Still ahead in the count 1-2, but he has significantly changed the eye level of the right-handed hitter. We'll see if he goes away. He does with a curveball, fouled off by Ellis, and the count stays at 1-2 strikes. Curveballs and changeups have dominated this count. We'll see if he goes with a fastball. Down and in. Last 2 pitches have been up and in and away. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, fouled off. Good at bat here by Ellis.
Bison have battled in all their at-bats, or a majority of them, making Clark work here.
Yeah, certainly a quality at-bat. Pitch number 7 on the way. And this is a pivotal at-bat, as we said at the beginning of this at-bat. The complexion of this inning changes depending on how this at-bat goes. Clark obviously trying to win it. Here he goes. 1-2 pitch again. Kicks, delivers, and it is in there for strike 3. Beautiful fastball, outer half. And that will sit down Ellis.
That's a huge strikeout. 3rd of the game for Clark. Like you said now, 2 outs. All the strikeouts have been looking as well.
Now he's got Valentin. Big spot. Defense shifted slightly pull side. This one popped up center field. Grover calling for it. He's under it. He reaches up and he makes the catch. So just like that, the Seahawks get out of trouble thanks to Braden Clark working and getting the final 2 outs of the inning. That'll send us to the bottom half of the second. It's all tied up, 0s apiece. And welcome back to the bottom half of the second inning. Niall Serban joined along by Andrew Pizzelli, and here is Tyler Canu, who sees a strike in his first at-bat, which did not happen often yesterday.
No. I think he saw, 9 straight balls in his first 3 at-bats?
He had 2 walks on 4 pitches apiece, and then a ball in at-bat number 3, and then that first strike that he saw, he grounded into left field for a single. But he is now down in the count, 0-2.
And that was very much the story yesterday for Salve versus Suffolk. Suffolk, they're pitching, just putting way too. I mean, the Seahawks, no extra base hits, a lot of singles, and they just had so many guys on base and put so much pressure on the Rams because, well, the Rams did it to themselves by walking so many guys. So, I mean, that's always a key in any game. But so far here early for the Bison, the pitching staff and Hurley doing their job.
Only 2 of the runners that scored yesterday as Canu strikes out on a nice fastball from Hurley outside. Only 2 of the runs that we scored yesterday came through at bats where the batter who scored got a base hit. So the 5 other runs that we scored were produced either by a free pass or a fielder's choice, and all of the fielder's choices that were reached came a fielder's choice via the player in front walk. So hits going to be more of a focus today. Hurley's not he's not a person that's going to, or a pitcher that's going to walk a lot of guys in any game in recent memory. So we're going to have to find some barrels, put some balls into the gaps. McCarthy swings, and he puts one up the middle, and he finds an infield gap, and now we have our first base runner of the game, Willie McCarthy. Starts off the hitting for the Seahawks, single up the middle.
First hit of the game.
And now here in the bottom of the second, we finally have some speed on the bases and a power hitter at the plate. Here's Brandon Grover, the 6th hitter in today's game. Hurley's been liking his changeups to lefties. We'll see if he starts with it. And he does, and it's a beauty, but it just misses on the outside half. McCarthy, not much of a lead over at first. Hurley kicks, delivers, and it's way inside. So now Hurley, for the first time today, way down in the count. 2 balls, no strikes.
Oh, Clark faced some pressure in the top half of this inning. Seahawks trying to apply a little extra pressure of their own.
2-0 pitch, Hurley kicks, and he delivers outside. So now 3-0 is the count. Grover certainly going to have the red light here.
And that's always the little extra part of the game within the game. You know, Seahawks have the benefit of having won yesterday. This is an elimination game for the Bison. And you want your starter and need your starter to go deep because you're hoping to win and have arms. But obviously, everyone but yesterday's starter is available for the Bison.
Good pitch there. Hurley looked either to be a 2-seam fastball or the changeup on that 3-0 pitch. There was no downward break. Assume it's the fastball. Check back to first. McCarthy back safely. Hurley's favorite pitch has been the changeup. We'll see if he trusts it. 3-1. Big pitch. There goes McCarthy. Fastball inner half. Called for his strike. And McCarthy gets the stolen bases. That one gets past the shortstop. Not able to corral it.
Well, yesterday the Seahawks early on tested Lake, the catcher for the Rams. Here testing Jerome. That throw was not on the mark. And see if that sets the tone again for how often the Seahawks want to try and run.
I think that's a really good point. That throw wasn't on the mark. If that was a good throw, it might have had him. So the Seahawks lucky and now have a runner on second base. Just the one out. Full count, though. Here's Hurley. He has his set, checks back. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, hit right side, and it is going to be foul. Grover put a good swing on a changeup. Just pulled it slightly down the right field line to the errant side of the foul pole. So we do it again. Another big pitch, 3-2. Here's Hurley. He has his set. Checks McCarthy. He delivers. Beautiful pitch. Changeup at our half, and that gets Grover swinging. And now he has 2 outs. And here's another batter who had a wild box score yesterday. Was hit by a pitch in his first 3 at-bats. The first one, he ended up striking out. They called it back because he got hit on the bat rather than the hands. But strikeout, hit by pitch, walk was Grachel's day. We'll see him swing the bat here. 2 outs, runner on second. Infield shifts slightly, and a good curveball from Hurley. Both teams up in the dugout. The 0-1 pitch, up and in. And I think it'll certainly be something that's interesting to follow as the game goes on. Hurley's favorite pitches today have not been his fastball. It's been his changeup and his curveball. His fastball is his least strike percentage pitch so far today. He's missed with it more than half the time that he's thrown it. There he goes with the changeup and gets the swing and miss. So I think as you get into leverage counts, it could be that the hitters for the Seahawks are looking for off-speed pitches rather than a fastball. 1-2 is the count. Gratial, tough spot. 2 outs, runner on second. Righty shift on in the infield. And this one swung on, hit left side. Third baseman's there. He's going to go for McCarthy, but he ends up throwing it to first base to record the out. 5-3, and that ends the bottom half of the second. The score remains tied, 0s apiece, and we head to the top of the third.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Top of the third inning. Scoreless here in this Commonwealth Coast Conference baseball tournament game. An elimination game here for the Nichols Bison. Seahawks won yesterday versus Suffolk. Trying to make it 2 in a row. Clark will start things off against Croteau. He'll ground it too short. Cicada the throw onto Canoe, and very quickly, 1 away.
Great start to the inning. Braden Clark, obviously somebody who has the mix and the pitches. You don't want to show all that early in the game. It just lets you be fresher later. Quick outs.
The appeal here on the swing from Karen, and they say, yes, he went. So strike 1 to the center fielder.
As good as Hurley's changeup has been, and it has been very good, Braden Clark's been showing off his own stuff. Another swing and miss on the changeup there.
Here's the 0-1. Chop to third. McCarthy, plenty of time to gun down Karen. Quick work here for Clark. 2 gone.
3 pitches, 2 outs. You take that all day long. And that can be a nice energizing boost for the offense. You didn't have a great inning in the second, got the 1 base hit, got your first base hit, quick work from the pitcher, and you're back to it. So it could be nice if Braden Clark's able to get out of this top of the third quickly.
Here's the third baseman, Cormier. One of the best bats in the Bison lineup. He takes the first pitch. This one is into left field and skipping in for a base hit. So the third hit of the game for Nichols. Cormier now 1 for 2 in the game.
Well, here it is. There's that 3-4-5 spot that we talked about. 3-4-5 was so dangerous yesterday against Roger Williams, and they're going to have a chance here for some RBI opportunities. Potentially, there are the 2 outs, but here comes Knox. He scored twice yesterday.
First pitch from Clark. Gets the strike call. check over at first. Cormier will hop back safely. I'll check again. An emphatic safe call there from the first base umpire.
The umpires are in the playoffs as well. We saw the emphatic home plate umpire yesterday. Now we're seeing the nice calls over at first.
We like that.
We do.
Swing and a miss. Two outs, one on here for the Bison. Cormier at first. Knocks at the plate. The pitch. On the ground. Hop to third. McCarthy has to dive. It gets through to Cicada, who tries to gut him down, and he got him. McCarthy dove initially for the ball. Hopped past him. Cicada backed him up and threw out Knox at first to end the inning. We head to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here from Newport. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Bottom of the third. Tyler Petrosino will lead things off here for the Seahawks. Scoreless game so far here in this conference tournament game. First pitch from Petrosino in the air, right to left field. Snagged by Valentin. One pitch, one out for the Bison.
I think that's going to be the attack plan. Early and often in attacking what Hurley throws. He's not going to beat you with any one of his pitches, but once he gets himself into great pitcher's counts, he's deadly because he can go to that fastball, changeup, or curveball. That might be the new approach of the Seahawks, early and often.
Bottom of the order now, Veneruso. He swings at the first pitch and chops it foul down the first base line. So we talked about it, and seems so far Seahawks seeking that early contact. Some stirring as well in the Bison bullpen. This one on the ground, a slow roll to short. Croteau has to bobble it, and he does not make a throw. The slow roller to Croteau. And so there is no play at first base.
Well, that's a huge deal because that brings the top of our lineup that has been, just a powerhouse as of late up to the plate with, again, Veneruso on first. He can run as most of our players can. And there's a tough situation here as the Seahawks look to attack Hurley.
So now 1 on, 1 out. Matt D'Amato. First pitch will skip away. Veneruso takes off for second. He easily slides in. And now the Seahawks are in business with a runner in scoring position. So an error and then a wild pitch.
Bad combo.
And time is called. One out, one on. Veneruso at second. D'Amato at the plate. Hurley glancing back. Now they'll look to try and apply the tag, and Veneruso wise to that as Croteau tried to sneak in behind him.
A basic wheel play there between the shortstop and the pitcher. Veneruso read it very easily.
Counts 2-0.
D'Amato read that curveball very well. That started middle and broke into him. So it appears as if the Seahawks, or at least D'Amato, is kind of figuring out the pitch shapes of starting pitcher Hurley here in his second time through the lineup.
The 2-0, another pitch that basically almost bounced in.
But I'll tell you what, that was the changeup, and Hurley got multiple swings and misses his first time through the lineup to lefties with that same pitch. So it could be that the first time through the lineup, Hurley had everybody kind of deceived with his pitches, and the Seahawks may have figured out some of the pitch shapes.
Yeah, D'Amato not even attempting to offer at that. 3-0 the count. Hurley delivers. In the air. Popped up. Little gap into left center, but coming in and eventually making the call for it is Valentin. 2 gone. And what could have been a little awkward gap there for the Bison. The left fielder able to sort it all out. What do you think about swinging there on 3-0, Niall?
Yeah, early in the game, it's definitely something that a leadoff hitter and an all-conference outfielder like Matt D'Amato has the authority to decide that he wants to do if he sees a pitch he likes. However, obviously, with hindsight, it doesn't appear to be the right move just because it could be, with 1 out, runners on first and second in a 0-0 ball game, looking to score first. You'd love to see that. But D'Amato saw a pitch that he liked, and he's a good enough hitter to where if he sees that pitch, he can certainly drive that into one of the gaps and be the first RBI of the day. Didn't work out here.
0-1 the count here to Cicada. 2 outs, 1 on. Bottom of the third. The pitch from Hurley, breaking ball. 4 strike 2. I think about that play before from D'Amato. One thing that's not a factor here today, the wind.
Absolutely.
Yesterday, that could have been much more of an adventure of a play with the crosswind that was swirling on the field. 0-2 to Cicada. Hurley delivers. Swing and a miss. Down goes Cicada. So the Seahawks can't capitalize. They'll strand 1. Veneruso at second. And we are still scoreless. Pitchers duel here in Newport. We head to the top of the 4th. You're watching Commonwealth Coast Conference Baseball on the Salve Athletics Network. We'll be back.
And welcome back to the top half of the 4th, where we watch Braden Clark start it off here as we head to the middle third of the game. Still scoreless. Ground ball hit sharply third base side, but way foul. And this is Hyde, a part of that dangerous 3-4-5, but it is always nice when you get to that 3-4-5 and it's broken apart so that they can't synchronize themselves together and be the run-scoring unit. This one hit right side. There's Petrosino, long run. It's going to be down, but the strong arm of Petrosino holds it to a single. Oh, my.
Well, Petrosino had to gather the turn, lost his hat. Very quick with the trigger there to hold that to a single.
Huge difference to have runner on first with nobody out, runner on second with nobody out. The Seahawks still in position for a double play. They turned one yesterday. First pitch, right side, Veneruso there. He has it, and he's going to be able to prevent it from getting into the outfield, but that is it. The Seahawks were positioned in double play depth, and that one took him to the 3-4 hole. He dove, made the stop, prevented the runner from getting to third base, but wasn't able to do anything with the ball once he had it. So now some real dangerous hitters 4 and 5, both single. So now the 6th hole, catcher Jerome has himself a big spot. Check back to second, nothing going.
Well, 5 hits now for the Bison. And obviously their biggest threat so far here of the afternoon.
Yeah, this is a huge, huge inning, huge spot for Braden Clark, the sophomore, and his biggest start of the year. Runner goes, swung on, fouled back. Well, that is an aggressive move by the Bison there. They go with a hit and run on second, sending the runner from second to third. If that goes poorly, it could be a disaster, but if it works out, first run of the game right there.
Well, I mean, being aggressive, backs against the wall. Obviously, 2 on and no out is a great situation, but.
Check back to second. Nice play by Cicada to prevent that from getting to the outfield.
This is now one of these little mind games. Bison show they may want to try and run and take third. Seahawks want to try and make them think twice about that.
Here's 0-1. Jerome squares to bunt. We'll see if he slashes. He goes with the bunt and fouls it off. And head coach Eric Sorrella makes the play. Well, that's a big foul ball there.
And I was going to say, especially, now, what we've just seen the last 3 plays, so to speak, you got to get out your situational card here and now start sorting through everything, what both teams are trying to do offensively and defensively here, as now Jerome looks to swing.
Strikeout would be huge. 0-2 pitch, swung on, ripped left side, but foul. As this game started, the pressure was on the Nichols College Bison. As they're playing for elimination, they're truly up against the wall. But anytime you score first, that puts the opposing team, whoever didn't score first, whoever's down, that puts them against the wall because they have to fight back and take that lead, regain that lead. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one swung on, fouled off again. 4 straight foul balls. The expected runs for this situation is like 1.5. If Braden Clark's able to get out of this, it would be masterful. Here he goes, 0-2 again, swung on, ripped left side. McCarthy there. He steps on third, throws 2. Not in time, but a beautiful play by the third baseman, Will McCarthy, to field that ball backhand, step on third, and fire to second, just not in time to get number 26, Kleinhans, as he slid into second base.
We'll see if that starts any stirring in the Seahawks pen. Clark north of 50 pitches. Bases loaded now.
First and second, 1 out.
Oh, my mistake.
Check to second again. Very athletic play by McCarthy to field that ball backhand. It was right down the line. If he wasn't able to get that, it would have certainly been extra bases. Big swing and miss there. Great curveball to Valentine, today's left fielder. Clark set 0-1. Just low. There's the fastball. It'll be interesting to see how they decide to play the start from Braden Clark, because he'll be ready to go deep into innings. He's had to use very little of his fastball so far today. 1-1, another curveball. Beautiful pitch, just fouled off. He's back ahead in the count. But as you get to those later innings, he should be able to elevate four seams and also go inside-outside, because he only had to use his fastball less than 10 times. He's been going to his curveball and his changeup. So the hitters haven't had a chance to see his best pitch, which is his fastball, which generally means that he'll be able to stay strong his third time through the lineup. But, of course, in a playoff game, everything's different. If Braden Clark gets into trouble, there could be a quick hook. This one swung on, hit right center field. Brandon Grover giving chase. He appears to be under it. He's there. He makes the catch. Nice catch. Throws it back in. And Kleinhans will get to third, but there are now 2 outs.
Well, this will be another big spot for Clark to try and work out of a jam. Keep this game scoreless. You got 4 pitchers getting loose for the Bison. Just some soft toss, but
in a game like this, both sides definitely very inclined to pull quickly.
Trying to keep everybody fresh and ready, given the situations.
Big spot. This here is the left fielder, Valentine. First pitch outside. There's the changeup. Counts 1-0. Takeda shifts up the middle. And again outside. It's now a 2-0 count for the 8-hole hitter, Valentine. And this right here, really one of the first times Braden Clark has been behind in a count. We'll see how he's able to work out of it. There is a free base. And just like that, he's down 3-0. The 9-hitter is on deck, and he's a very good defender, an elite defender. Strike one, outer half. And that'll put the shortstop, and again, the 9-hole hitter, in a huge spot if Valentine's able to get on base here. 3-1. Clark ready, he kicks, he delivers, curveball. Beautiful throwback to third off the helmet of Nichols. The runner on third, Kleinhans, is going to score easily, and there goes number 11. Throw to the plate is going to be offline, so Nichols scores 2 on the most unconventional play in baseball, a throwback to third, and it goes off the helmet of Kleinhans.
Well, you don't see something like that often, so the runner at first initially went. Catch came up like he wanted to throw there. I think thought, I'm not going to have time, and instead opted to try and go to third, and Kleinhans had already gotten back to the bag, and Catch's throw hit him in the back of the helmet. And then, obviously, from there, it's pandemonium. 2 runs come across for Nichols.
Well, that's about as crazy as it gets, Andrew. 2 runs score, and now a walk. So runner on first. 2 runs already in this inning. And that goes into the book as a throwing error. Obviously, it was on line. It just hit the helmet of the Nichols player, who crouched down to avoid being tagged. Hit him in the helmet. Runner on first. Here's the 9-hole hitter, Couteau. First pitch is in there for a strike. Fastball. Well, that's a monumental play.
Very unconventional. But if you're the Bison, you do not care. It was all about getting runs in early.
And they did so. The runner from first base which was Jerome, ended up coming in to score on that play. He was stealing, and then the ball bouncing off the helmet of Kleinhans got deep into a runner goes second, and he's going to be there safely. But it hit off the helmet and then got stuck in the batting cage area, and that gave him time to score all the way from first base on the play. But Clark still has work to do. He's in a 1-1 count. Runner on second. And that one's up above the zone.
Well, at the end of the day here, you just want to shut the door on this inning. Given the situation, you said, 1.5 runs? Well, can't score halves of runs. So if you want to round up 2, only giving up 2 runs, given the outs and the position of the base runners, it obviously doesn't look pretty, but if that's all that it can be this inning, you limit it that. But Clark has to settle down a little bit here.
Yeah, he's down on the count 2-1. It's all sunk cost now. Now he's in a different jam. Runner on second, 2 outs, and the top of the lineup is due up. This one swung on, hit right side. Petrosino there. He's under the sun. Oh, it goes off the glove of Petrosino, and that will score another. He was battling the sun, trying to block it with his glove, and as that ball came down, it just hit off the hand, basically.
Well, I'm not sure if he was trying to block the sun to find the ball because he stopped. He was in the right spot, and it was as if he thought he had more time to find it, get the glove open, and make the catch. So another error here for Salve. Second.
And that brings out pitching coach Andrew McKeon. And exactly right. It's been 3 runs scored, all of them unearned. And that is certainly something that's going through the head of Braden Clark, a sophomore, as he's trying to get out of the top half of the 4th inning. He's working to try and just get himself cleanly to the bottom half of this inning, and errors have been a damper on the inning for him. Here we go again. Runner on second, 2 outs. And that one plunks the batter at the plate.
I can't imagine that is what Andrew McKeon was instructing on the mound.
No. Yeah, absolutely not. Runners on first and second. I mean, I guess the benefit would be now that there's a force at any play, at any bag. But this inning is getting a bit tedious, that's for sure. And here's the best hitter the Bison have. It's Cormier. Curveball up and in. And with that, we have bullpen catcher Dominic Rameau coming down. Somebody's going to get up for the Seahawks. It appears to be Graham Jeffries. We'll wait and see. 1-0 pitch.
And the mistakes haven't been Clark's. But if you feel that there's a tipping point here and you don't want the game to get away, I mean, this is him all on him right now to get out of this inning.
Absolutely. It's another tough spot. Runner on first and second. There's still the 2 outs. But down in the count, 2-1. And for now, a 3-run game, that's something that this offense, who puts up just under 7.99, just under 8 runs per game. This is still something we can work ourselves back. The Seahawks can work themselves back from. But if this gets out of hand, big time swing and miss there from Cormier. If Cormier shows off the power and drives one to a gap, it could really be dangerous. A 5-run game is difficult to come back from. Cormier already has a hit. Now he has 2 strikes on him. Clark set, 2-2 pitch. Curveball way up. And the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Bison all have their hats shaken. Huge spot as the 3-hitter Knox is on deck. Clark said he checks second. Fastball swung on, hit left side and through. D'Amato's going to come up. He's going to be throwing. There goes the throw to the plate. It's through, and he's tagged. Safely, now there's pandemonium on the base paths. There's a pickle going on. And back safely is everybody. So a single throw to the plate was not quite in time. Dylan Ketch put the tag down cleanly, but just not in time. That allowed for it to be an RBI single. Then there was a pickle going on between first and second, but everybody got back safely. Well, in the top half of the fourth, 4 runs have scored.
6th hit of the game for the Bison. And a good job there. Again, these are the little details. 4-0. Salve can come back from that. But the little details there of not falling asleep with the rundown play between first and second and letting another run come home from third.
Another ball hit into left field. Matt D'Amato has it, and he fires it back into the cutoff man. 5 runs this inning.
Well, it ends up not really mattering. The run comes home anyways. What an inning here for the Bison. 7 hits in the game and batting around the order.
Up for the Seahawks in the pen is captain, junior, Tommy Del Vecchio. And here comes head coach Eric Sorella out from the dugout. So that will be it for starting pitcher Braden Clark, who really had to battle this inning against some tough circumstances, to say the least. But that will be it for his day. With 2 outs in the top half of the fourth, we have junior captain Tommy Del Vecchio coming to try and shut the door on this inning. We'll let him get ready, and we will be back for the final out of the 4th inning. And welcome back to the top half of the 4th inning. Captain Junior Tommy Del Vecchio comes in to try and shut the door on this half, but he has a tough matchup. Hyde, who's already 1 for 1 in this inning with runners on first and second. He's one of the best hitters in the lineup for the Bison. And that's the job for Tommy Del Vecchio, get that guy out.
Well, Clark's day is done. 3 2/3, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, none of them earned, though. And just an unfortunate set of events. All started with that ball that careened off of Kleinhens at third. Really set up this explosion here, and the Bison just taking advantage.
Yeah, yesterday it was the Seahawks who were able to take advantage of mistakes and put up 7 runs in 3 innings. And then today, here in the 4th, it's been the Bison who took advantage of a few mistakes.
And you talked about it in the break there. The past few games, we've had some of the worst conditions imaginable between wind and rain and cold, and saw some spectacular defense.
This one hit a mile high left field. Matt D'Amato is there. He's under it. He reaches up and he makes the catch. That will do it for the top half of the 4th. Great job by Tom Del Vecchio to come in and close the door on what could have been more damage. There's a lifetime left in this game, and the Seahawk bats are going to have to heat up. They're chasing 5 now. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. Welcome back to the bottom half of the 4th inning here in Coastal Conference playoff circumstances. Game 2. Dylan Ketch will lead it off here in the bottom half of the 4th against starting pitcher Hurley, who has been cruising. First pitch swinging. Dylan Ketch fouls it off.
Well, we wanted to see if the Seahawks' approach would change. They started swinging at early pitches in the last few innings. Obviously, does that approach change now that you're down 5-0? You don't want to fly out or ground out on one pitch and make the job easy on Hurley. You want to try and extend him now and chase him from this game.
This one swung on, hit very hard. Right field, but foul. Good barrel there on a changeup. Well, the approach was to start swinging early in counts because Hurley was so effective with all 3 of his pitches, and his changeup to lefties had been just an annihilation pitch. And so if you can find a pitch early in a count that you can attack, you wanted to go after that. Of course, now when you're chasing 5, if you can get a walk, that's an extremely valuable outcome. It's different than chasing 1, where, one swing can tie everything up. Now you are chasing 5, but it appears they're still swinging early at pitches they like. 0-2, swung on, fouled back.
And a great spot here for the Bison. I mean, a 5-0 lead that you spotted Hurley, who is now only at 39 pitches.
The second time through the lineup is obviously a benefit when you're looking at a guy who is throwing 3 pitches for a strike. You get to see pitch shapes, identify curveballs like that. After that ball in the dirt, the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big spot, Hurley, 1-2 pitch. Swung on, hit right side, ripped, and it's down for a single. So a leadoff single for Dylan Ketch, just what the doctor ordered.
Lots of contact there for Ketch, that at-bat. And the Seahawks seen them do this plenty this year. It's just about getting one and then getting the next run and then getting the next. There's an eternity left in this game.
Yeah, during the 11-game win streak, the Seahawks have been scoring runs aplenty, averaging more than 10 runs per game over the course of the 11-game win streak. Here's a power bat and Canoe. First pitch he sees is in there for a strike.
Because there's no way to swing the bat once and get 5 runs.
Can't do that.
So Canoe 0 for 1.
Swung on, hit left side, and through for a base hit. So back-to-back base hits to start off the bottom half of the fourth. And that brings up third baseman Will McCarthy. He has been a force to be reckoned with second half of the season, and especially during this win streak. He's getting the sign from coach. It could be an interesting play out here. Generally, with runners on first and second and nobody out, the Seahawks will go for a bunt to move the runners to second and third. It's a great way to induce scoring 1 or 2 runs for an inning, and we'll see how they play it here. It appears as if Will McCarthy's going to swing away. This one swung on. Curveball popped up, out of play. McCarthy is 1 for 1 in this game. He saw Hurley and was the first base hit for the Seahawks, right field. Hurley set, nobody holding on catch. The 0-1 pitch swung on, popped up, playable. Shortstop moving back, left field coming in. Left field calls everybody off. He reaches up and he makes the catch.
A little bit of a stumble there for Courteau before Valentin called him off. That could have been a situation we saw all 3 guys run into each other. That was a very late call off there from Valentin.
Big spot. Here's the sophomore captain, Brandon Grover. He has the benefit of a long at-bat in his first at-bat, so he has seen the pitches that Hurley has. He holds off a good changeup there, and that has been a recurring theme here for the second time through the order, holding off the changeup that was so effective the first time through. If Brandon Grover is able to get an elevated breaking ball, watch for him to drive that. And that one hits him. Brandon Grover will take that all day long. He now stands on first base. Canoe is on second base, and the grad student captain, Dylan Ketch, is on third. This has the makeup of a big inning, that's for sure. Loaded bases, only the 1 out.
Well, the Seahawks have been willing to trade outs for runs at times, but with Ryan Gratial at the plate here, I think the approach may be different to try and find a ball and get multiple runs with one swing. As we get a conference on the mound here for the Bison.
With a player like Ryan Gratial at the plate, one of the things that he brings to the table is fly ball. He's a fly ball hitter. He can drive a ball out of the park at any given time, and what he goes to the plate to do is drive a ball to a gap. So when he misses, he rarely misses with ground balls. He's much more of a fly ball hitter than anything else. Of course, in this situation, that works out quite well. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. But I'll tell you what, he's not looking for a fly ball to an outfielder. He is looking to find one of these gaps. He's done it before. Back against Endicott, he had the bases clearing double.
A lot of that had to do with how the Gulls were playing in the outfield as well.
And I'll tell you what, the outfield is not playing deep against Gratial here. First pitch to him. That's a good changeup. Swung on and missed by Gratial. No shift in the infield. They're playing back. Here's Hurley. 0-1 pitch. Curveball outside. Good take. Count evens itself up at 1-1.
You mentioned Gratial having that big hit in that game versus Endicott last week. It was the same deficit, 5-0, but the 7th inning of a rainy day, and feeling like the Seahawks needed to get 5 runs in the bottom of that inning to avoid the weather playing a factor in determining the game.
Another healthy hack there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That was the fastball from Hurley. Gratial is now seeing all 3 of the pitches Hurley could throw. Fastball, changeup, curveball. The 2-strike pitch for Hurley has been the changeup so far today. We'll see what he goes with. 1-2. There's the pitch, and it's swung on and missed. Curveball.
That's a huge strikeout for Nichols. Especially getting Gratial, as you said, who even if he produces an out, if he hits one far to the outfield, you give yourself a chance to bring home at least 1 run. Best possible outcome for the Bison, making Gratial have to sit down.
And here is Tyler Petrosino. He's certainly looking for a big knock here. First pitch, up and away, fastball.
And a chance for him to make some amends. His first error of the year in the top of this frame. He has had a great season in the outfield defensively. Chance here to do something with the bat to make up for it.
Outfield shifted, pull side for the lefty. And now the count's 2-0. Curveball down in the dirt.
Well, like you said, Seahawks staying away.
After missing with both a fastball and a curveball, and Hurley's go-to pitch today being the changeup. Here in a 2-0 count where a walk can't happen, he goes to it, but he misses it inside, so now the count's 3-0. And I was saying a big hit would be a very important outcome for the Seahawks, but a walk does just the same here. Loaded bases.
We saw D'Amato swing at a 3-0 pitch early this game. See if Petro takes here.
Well, just like that, the Seahawks get their first run, and it's a huge one. They get themselves onto the board, and that's a confidence booster. And now the tying run walks up to the plate and is one of our hottest hitters. He's been on base today, Chris Veneruso.
And that's next level by Petrosino, because you want to get the hit. You want to, but as you said, taking 4 pitches and bringing in a run just as productive, means just as much. That was an incredibly productive at-bat and plate discipline from Petrosino.
You can get the urge to try and make up for all of it with one swing, but he stays off of some close pitches, as Veneruso does as well here. Fastball up above the zone, barely. He takes it. I know that every one of these Seahawks is coming up to the plate right now thinking to themselves, I can produce 3 runs with a big hit, but they seem to have a great amount of patience and wherewithal for understanding what the zone is. 1-0 pitch, swung on, hit hard center field. Not hard enough there, center fielder. He's there, reaches up and makes the catch. The Hawks score 1, leave the bases loaded, but the Seahawks do get their first run of the game. It's 5-1 as we head to the top half of the 5th. Tommy Delvecchio back out for the Seahawks when we come back.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field, top of the fifth. Bison leading the Seahawks 5-1 here in this Commonwealth Coast Conference playoff game. Tommy Delvecchio delivers the first pitch to Kleinhens, who is 2 for 2 in the game. Does have a run scored as well in a rather unconventional fashion last inning. Top of the fourth. Hits this one in the air to right field, Petrosino, and it's going to fall in front of him. So the 8th hit of the game for the Bison.
And the 3rd for the 5-hitter, Kleinhens.
He's 3 for 3 in the game. The Seahawks really could have escaped that 4th inning with not a lot of damage, but just some unconventional type of plays. The Bison, they don't ask how, they ask how many. They got 5 in the 4th.
The Seahawks responded with a good bottom half of the 4th inning. To put across 1 run, there was room for more. But to see the Seahawks pitch, or seeing the pitching well out of Hurley's hand, is obviously a positive sign. They're still not getting anybody warm. They're going to have another chance to look at Hurley.
And check on Kleinhens. He's back to the bag safe. Jerome at the plate right now. He's 1 for 2 in the game.
But they're facing one of our best, Tommy Delvecchio, best reliever ERA on the team.
Here goes the runner. The ball's hit in the air. Fly ball to right field. Petrosino grabs it and a quick throw back in. Canoe will hold on to that as Kleinhens had to race back to first. 1 away.
That was a nice play by Petrosino to field it and throw it back in very quickly. The ball always seems to find you after an error, and it has so far today. Back-to-back balls going right to Petrosino to start off the top half of the 5th.
Here's the first baseman, Ellis, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And he takes that pitch inside for a ball. Bison coming into today with their backs against the walls, trying to stave off elimination. Here's the pitch. Inside again to Ellis. Count was 2-0.
Both of those have been sliders. Tommy Delvecchio has, one of the best sliders in the CCC. Is the reason his ERA is sub 1.4. He missed both of those, didn't break the way he wanted them to. He's down the count 2-0.
The pitch. Misses again. Count 3-0. Delvecchio delivers, and that one's low. So it'll be runners at first and second, 1 out for Nichols. Opportunity again for them to try and get the run back that they surrendered in the bottom of the 4th.
And for the Seahawks in the bullpen, it's Eddie Hardiman who's starting to get loose with the bullpen catcher. Tommy's attacked left-handed hitters very well throughout the entire course of the season. Good spot here. We'll see if he gets a rollover.
First pitch gets the strike call to Victor Valentin. He's also 0 for 1.
And that pitch right there is exactly where he wants it. If Valentin does go and try and swing, that's a rollover waiting to happen. The slider inside the lefties can be dangerous.
Runners at first and second, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Delvecchio. Inside, and they say that it hit Valentin. So that will load the bases with 1 out.
Well, he was going back to it there. He was trying to attack Valentin on the inner half with another slider, and that one broke a bit more than Delvecchio would have liked, and it just came across too much and hit right on the knee of Valentin.
And now we'll get Croteau, who is 0 for 2 in the game.
DeVecchio still not in a bad spot. His slider induces a lot of ground balls.
First pitch there.
But, of course, Andrew, this is pressure right here. 4-run deficit, loaded bases, 1 out in the heart of the middle innings.
That pitch gets away. Count 2-0. Lots of noise coming from the Bison dugout.
One heck of a pick there by Dylan Ketch, though.
And head coach Eric Sorella is coming out. He's going to make the change mid-at-bat. Count is 2-0 to Croteau. And that'll do it for Delvecchio. So while the Seahawks make the change, we will step aside as well. Bison in control right now, looking for more. You're watching Commonwealth Coast Conference baseball action on the Salve Athletics Network. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. New pitcher for the Seahawks is Eddie Hardiman, and he will have to deal with Croteau. Bases loaded, 2 outs, already a 2-0 count. Hardiman's first pitch gets the strike call. That is massive for Hardiman.
Huge pitch. Way to start the day for Eddie Hardiman. Needed a strike there, and he gets it.
Swing and a miss. So Croteau knew Hardiman was going to have to come in and throw strikes. Took one, missed one. Count even 2-2. The pitch. Fouled off.
He just got a piece of that changeup from Hardiman.
Hardiman looks in for the sign from Defensive Player of the Year, Dylan Ketch. Now he comes set, kicks and delivers. Little bloop ball into a gap. Veneruso trying to lay out, cannot make it. A quick throw from Grover. Make that Petrosino back in. But the Bison are able to bring across another run. Make it 2. Or just the 1. So 6-1. The good throw there from Petrosino to clean that up and limit it to 1.
Tough spot there, just barely a bloop single in its truest form. Just gets over the head of the second baseman, Chris Veneruso.
9th hit of the game for Nichols. who have made solid contact throughout against every pitcher the Seahawks have put out there. They've needed it, facing elimination. Here's another chopper. Tap to Veneruso. He'll flip over to Cicada, and he will get one.
So the Seahawks get one, but as does Nichols. They score another, put it to 7-1. And as I said, when the Bison walked onto this field, they had their back against the ropes, but they have completely taken the position, throwing haymaker after haymaker. And now the Seahawks, first of all, need to get out of this inning, and that is the job of Eddie Hardiman here in this spot. But the offense is going to have to come through in a big way in the final 5 frames.
Hardiman delivers inside here to Cormier. 2 outs, runners at the corners. Largest lead for Nichols. 6 runs, 7-1. Runner goes. This one on the ground. Diving play made by Cicada. Guns over to first, and they got him. In disbelief is Cormier. But the Seahawks, with a great defensive play there from Cicada, able to end the inning, and they have work to do. They come up to bat in the bottom of the 5th, trailing 7-1. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Bottom of the 5th. Top of the order, Matt D'Amato, who's 0 for 2 so far here today, will lead things off for the Seahawks against Justin Hurley.
3rd time through the lineup here.
First pitch, D'Amato will take it. Seahawks trailing by 6. Bison have capitalized and put themselves in a great position here today. Trying to stave off elimination. Sorry, Niall.
One of the things to look for is going to be the ability for the Seahawk hitters to separate what's been happening in this game where they're down 7-1 versus the actual at-bat that they find themselves in right now. And it's been really good so far in this at-bat. This is the 3rd time through the lineup for the Seahawks. They have an exact idea of what the pitches look like out of Hurley's hand. And Matt D'Amato's done a good job of taking the pitches.
Down low, he takes 4. He'll take a walk.
And, Andrew, that was a good take on the 3-0 pitch. It was a good changeup. The first pitch of that at-bat was also a good changeup, and Matt D'Amato did a very good job of just watching it dive away from the strike zone. He stayed off of it. And now that puts up, Dustin Cicada to do the exact same thing, and that's recognize pitches, where they're going, and if he can put a good swing on it.
Cicada, who made another sensational play in the field. And the top of this inning, this one bounces away from Jerome, but he covers it quickly. D'Amato will stay at first. Cicada all-conference player, as a utility player. And we've seen him yesterday and again today now making some great defensive plays.
Defensively, he's been a superstar as of late. Shortstop not even being his natural position, so really good work for him there. Although a huge at-bat that he has. Run on first, nobody out.
Hits this one right into the glove of Cruteau. Line to short. D'Amato has to dive back to first. That one was roped, but Cruteau right there to make the snag.
Yeah, that's just baseball right there. Can't do more if you're a hitter. Put a barrel on a pitch, timed it correctly, did a really good job, did everything that Cicada could possibly do, but it just happens to be right at the shortstop.
One out now for Dylan Ketch, who's 1 for 2, has struck out, has one of the Seahawks' 3 hits. This one tapped back to the pitcher, thrown over to first for 1. D'Amato will advance to second. But the ground out to Hurley means it's 2 outs.
Interesting play from Hurley there. The expectation is to get that ball, turn to second, and try and start the double play. But that's generally one of the worst plays in baseball in terms of error percentage. Pitchers are just historically terrible at that, so he just takes his 1 out and moves on to the next batter instead of trying to induce the double play. Oh, this one's hit
Here's
hard.
a fly ball, deep left field, looking back, and that is gone. Absolutely crushed by Tyler Canoe into the parking lot of the Antone Academic Center. 2 runs in for Salve. They needed that.
Yeah, they could not have needed anything more. A 2-run shot. Not only does that bring it to 7-3 and make it only a 4-run deficit, but that should spark some momentum and give the Seahawks some life in that dugout. It was getting a bit quiet in there.
That one was way gone right off the bat. I mean, Valentin looked back, and he didn't even try to run. He just watched that one go sailing. And as we get from our statistician, Mike Pizzi, the first extra base hit for the Seahawks in 2 days.
And
talk about what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, not a better time for it than with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, chasing 6.
Low here to McCarthy, who's 1 for 2. Fouled off. 1-1 the count, 2 outs.
And you immediately heard it from both the dugout and the fans. There's that bat for McCarthy. There's a lot of cheering going on, looking for him to continue this inning.
Breaking ball hits McCarthy. So that will extend the inning. Brings up Brandon Grover.
Really good job by McCarthy there. He sees that pitch coming at him, and he just keeps his feet locked into the dirt and lets that hit off of his thigh. The Seahawks finished the season 5th in the country in hit by pitches. And there's singles, there's walks, there's doubles, there's all these different ways to get on base. But just standing there and letting a ball hit you at 70 miles an hour plus, that's one way to do it. He does it well.
Here's Grover. With 1 on, 2 out. And he'll take the first pitch for a strike. Seahawks already getting the 2 runs back that they surrendered here in the top of the 5th. Looking to claw into this deficit a little more. Chopped on the ground past the glove of Hurley, racing in his Cruteau. The throw will be in time to end the inning. So the Seahawks get 2 back. They'll trail by 4. We head to the top of the 6th. Nichols leading Salve 7-3.
And welcome back to the top half of the 6th here in CCC playoff tournament play. Eddie Hartman back out for the Seahawks, and he's facing the 3-hitter, or the 7-hitter in Ellis. The 3-hitter in Knox is who he's facing.
1 for 3 is Knox with a strikeout.
Good pitch, swung on, popped up. Grover calling everybody off. He sits, he's under it, and he reaches up to make the play. So a quick first out of the inning. Just what Hardeman wants. After that electric bottom half of the 5th, getting through the top half of the 6th here could be a big deal and keep that momentum going for the Seahawks. They're only chasing 4. At one point it was 6.
Yeah, the 5th, in terms of how the Seahawks came into the 5th versus how they exited, nothing changed other than some momentum and a little bit of life. So you want to try and get the bats back out there quickly and keep that going.
And they appear to be continuing to go with Hurley for the moment. However, there is a lefty getting loose in the pen. But the longer that the Seahawks get to see Hurley, the better it could be. This one hit right side, way foul. Because although there have been only 3 runs scored against Hurley ever since that first time through the lineup where Hurley was in complete command and control, the Seahawks have been seeing him well and putting barrels on his pitches. And in the long run, you're going to start producing doubles into the gaps, home runs like we saw from Canu, and your base hits are going to start dropping instead of them being pop-outs. Hyde barely gets a piece of that one. He stays alive. The count's 1-2.
He's also 1 for 3 with a strikeout.
One-two pitch from Hardeman. Swung on, hit right side. There's Canu. He has it. Takes it to first. Steps on first, and now there are 2 outs.
Well, so far the job done here by Hardeman. Nice efficient inning so far. Try and get Kleinhens here.
And he starts it off right. Change up outer half, called for a strike. And he came in facing the 3-4-5 in the top half of this inning. This one swung on, popped up. Center field, Grover is back. He reaches up and he makes the catch. So that will do it for the top half of the 6th. Very uneventful, just what Hardeman was looking for. And that'll take us to the bottom half of the 6th with the score still Seahawks 3, Nichols College 7. And welcome back to a huge bottom half of the sixth inning here at Reynolds Field. Niles Silverman alongside Andrew Pizzelli, and we're going to get a chance to see Ryan Gratial lead off the inning for the Seahawks. He's 0 for 2 so far today, but this is his third time seeing Hurley. Big swing and a miss there, and he just swung over a good changeup. So Hurley's stuff is still looking good here in the sixth.
Yeah, and got Gratial to strike out last time. He's 0 for 2 in the game. Only 71 pitches for Hurley. 5 Ks, 2 walks.
Good hold by Gratial. Curveball in the dirt. Count evens up at 1-1. Hurley has thrown a very few amount of fastballs. Really all game. He's been working primarily off of the curveball and the changeup, but he especially has been staying away from fastballs to Ryan Gratial. Gratial has seen more than 3 times the amount of off-speed as he has a fastball. Another changeup. Called for a strike. Well, the count's 1-2. Tough spot for Ryan Gratial here. He'll have to expand the zone, and Hurley knows it. We'll see if he goes down low with a curveball. He does. Nice play over by the dugout. Bare-handed play by Zach Lopez.
Don't know if you want your pitchers bare-handing foul balls.
I don't think it's ideal.
Probably not.
Coach, I can't pitch. I caught a foul ball. 1-2 still to count. Here's Gratial. That one way outside. Good eye.
The worst is, when we've broadcast behind home plate before, is catching the foul balls that come back and you grab it, it feels, great, yeah, everything feels nice, everybody cheers you, and then when it's a cold March day and all of a sudden, about 10 seconds later, the delayed pain hits the hand.
Great hold by Gratial. Did he go? No, he did not. Nichols thought that they had it. He didn't go, as confirmed by the umpire, and now we have a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Huge at bat.
Good battle here from Gratial.
Very much so. Seahawks only chasing 4. 3-2 pitch. Hurley has his set. Kicks. Delivers. Swung on and missed. Great curveball from Hurley there. Not much you can do. His stuff is still working for him.
Yeah, that's twice now he's got Gratial.
That brings up Tyler Petrosino. And with Hurley, he hadn't been particularly effective over the course of the regular season. He had an ERA over 4.3. He did have 54 innings, but what he's done really well today is be able to use all of his pitches just as he'd like. Curveballs to righties, changeups away to lefties, and of course mixing it all of it in between. He starts with a strike here to Petrosino. That was the curveball.
Yeah, here's what the Seahawks saw in their first game against the Bison this year. He went 5 1/3, gave up 5 runs, 4 earned, only struck out 1. Fantastic outing so far for him here today.
And a big time for it. No bigger game that he's pitched in this year than facing elimination. He just threw a ball there to Petrosino, counts 1-1.
And sometimes, he's a graduate student from Burlington, Mass. Bison turning to someone with experience.
Certainly.
In a situation like this, backs against the wall.
Great pitch there. Changeup inner half. You know that he had to feel as he walked out into the mound today that if he didn't bring his A game, it could be his last start, and he certainly is doing everything in his power to avoid that. 1-2 pitch. Petrosino rips right field and down. Base hit for Petrosino. Big-time piece of hitting for the sophomore outfielder.
Well, 5th hit of the game for the Seahawks. The bats have started to come alive a little bit. And right now, it's bottom 6, plenty of time left. You just want to scratch across another run or 2 and make this game close and tight and make the Bison feel that pressure.
The Seahawks have 4 hitting frames left. They're a good hitting team. If they can get one here that makes a difference, bring it to 3, and then all of a sudden you do, as you say, have that ability to scratch across 1 and sacrifice outs for runs, versus if you're down by 4 in the 8th or 9th inning, you're not making that sacrifice. Here's Veneruso. Swung on, hit right side. First baseman's there. Steps on first, and he attempts to throw out Petrosino at second base. He's not able to do so. The wheels of Petrosino really coming up big for the Seahawks there. He just gets under the throw.
I was saying that's all on Petrosino, his jump and his speed, because if not, that would have been a huge double play for the Bison.
And instead of it being an inning-ending double play, runner on second, leadoff hitter Matt D'Amato at the plate. Second-team all-conference outfielder. Back-to-back years being an all-conference outfielder. First pitch to him, fastball up and in, called for a strike. Big spot, no balls, one strike. Big swing, fouls it off into his own foot. D'Amato completely fine, not even taking time to deal with it. He's ready to go. However, it's an 0-2 count. Big hole for a hitter. Hurley able to locate all three of his pitches today. Can go with any of them. Throw them as hard as he would like, miss if you'd like to. 0-2 count. He's delivering home. Fastball out at half, swung on, fouled away from Matt D'Amato. Good swinging. To make contact with that fastball after you just saw a curveball down in, fastball up and away. Good for him to get a piece of it. Count stays 0-2. He's most likely going to see a changeup here. There's the changeup, swung on, popped up, and foul. Well, still 0-2. For an 0-2 count, D'Amato's fouled off 3 in a row. He's seen every pitch Hurley throws, fouled them all off, most of them with barrels, just not exactly fair. He's still barreling them, just foul. So he's seen the pitch as well. Count still 0-2. Hurley checks second. And a fastball up and away. Big spot for the junior. Hurley looks in. This could be his last inning of work. He's got his sign. He kicks, delivers home, swung on, fouled off again. Nice job, Matt D'Amato, to stay alive in this at-bat. He now has himself a quality at-bat, but of course, he's looking for more than that. Petrosino again playing with the shortstop, doing a little bit of dancing on second base. Hurley has his set. He checks Petro. He's going to kick, deliver. Curveball, great one. Swung on and missed by Matt D'Amato, and that will take us to the top half of the 7th inning where the Seahawks are chasing down by a score of 7-3 as we head to the final 3 frames. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field, top of the 7th. Eddie Hardiman back out there to face Ben Jerome, who's 1 for 3 in the game so far. His first pitch is down and away. Seahawks trailing 7-3 here to the Bison. Nichols facing elimination. Seahawks won yesterday. If they drop this game, they'll be on the brink of elimination tomorrow. They're in the Commonwealth Coast Conference Tournament.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of pressure on because if the Seahawks drop here today, they're going to have to play another game they didn't anticipate having to play, and that just changes how you'll be using your starters. And moreover than that, who you're going to be using to start is also going to be a question.
And every arm, as this one's tapped on the ground to second, fielded by Veneruso, and there's one away.
I'll tell you what, that was a phenomenal play because it was a tough hop for Veneruso, and he either had to sprint to turn that into a forehand ground ball, fielding it in front of his body, but he knew that he didn't have time quite to get there, so he had to backhand it. Really nice job by him on a short hop.
On the ground, again, second to Veneruso. He throws high, taking Canoe off the bag, so the runner will be safe. That's Ellis, who is safe, courtesy of the high throw from Veneruso.
Well, there's a beautiful shift on up the middle, perfectly played for the ground ball that was hit up the middle. I mean, if you're not shifting, that is going to be a single. Veneruso was there, but just released it a little bit early, and it got over the head of Tyler Canoe, who had to jump off the bag to get it.
This pitch from Hardiman in there for a ball. Elsewhere in the CCC, top of the 7th, Western New England leading Suffolk 10-4. Golden Bears looking to eliminate the Rams. Roger Williams leading Endicott 3-2. Up in Beverly, this one's on the ground. Again, chopped to Veneruso, shuffle to Cicada for one. On to Canoe, the low throw is not going to be in time. Seahawks cannot turn the double play. There will be 2 outs, though, and a runner at first.
That was a 4-hop ball to Veneruso. It would have been very difficult to turn the double play. It was about as clean as it could have been in terms of the transfer, and then the transfer from Veneruso to Cicada, and then the transfer from Cicada's glove to his hand. Good throw to first, just not in time.
2 outs now for Cruteau, and that ball gets away, so the runner, Valentin, will get to second easily. And he's in scoring position with 2 outs. And Cruteau, who's 1 for 3 at the plate. Hardiman delivers low. Count 2-0.
A bit of a shift in the outfield. Grover moving slightly towards right center.
That pitch in there for a strike. Hardiman takes a breath. Now kicks in, delivers. That one's chopped foul.
Great work from Hardiman. Was down the count 2-0. You have to limit damage from this point, and here on out, the Seahawks pitching is going to have to limit damage. He was down the count 2-0, already a runner on second base with the 2 outs. He's able to even it back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Long look in here for the sign from Dylan Ketch. Hardiman delivers. On the ground, Cicada stabs. He throws. Canoe ranging, makes the grab. That ends the inning. Another great play from Cicada at short, and the long reach of Tyler Canoe helps record the final out. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Seahawks trailing by 4. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Andrew Pizzelli alongside Niall Silberman bringing you the call. Bottom 7. Nichols leading Salve Regina 7-3. Here in this Commonwealth Coast Conference playoff game. Nichols came into today facing elimination. Seahawks had already won one playoff game as the number 1 seed, only needed to win 4 games in a row to be the Commonwealth Coast Conference champion. Now in danger of dropping a game and being on the brink as well. This pitch here to Cicada is chopped to third. Actually, Cruteau has it, and then the throw hops away from Ellis. So Cicada is going to jet into second. He will take that, as will the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's really a huge play from Cicada, and that's one of the reasons why you need to have those speedy guys in the top of the lineup. That would have been an out for most players in the conference, a lot of players on this team. Very good wheels, and he ends up getting over to second base after forcing a quick throw that wasn't quite there from Cruteau.
And he had been 0 for 3. Reaches here. Dylan Ketch now will face Hurley. Weren't sure if Hurley was going to come out just to see Cicada, as they do have a lefty warm in the pen. But Hurley will stay out there. The graduate student working on 91 pitches. Delivers outside here to Dylan Ketch.
That was the curveball, and that's the first bad miss. His front side opened up early, caused his arm to not fully finish on that curveball, and he left it way out and up against the lefty hitter and Catch. His changeup's going to be his go-to pitcher in this at-bat.
Graduate student on graduate student. Here's the pitch. Popped up, drifting back at third. Long wait, but the grab is made by Cormier. And there's one away. A big out there for Hurley.
Well, on the throw back into the pitcher, it got away from Cormier to the pitcher, Hurley, and that allowed for Dustin Cicada to hop on over to third. So a great piece of heads-up base running. And now another run. The fourth run for the Seahawks is only 90 feet away.
You don't see that happen too often, especially in a playoff game. But the Seahawks, the Bison took advantage of some odd mistakes early on from the Seahawks. See if the Seahawks can capitalize here. Hit on the ground into center. Base hit, and the Seahawks get another run back. Tyler Canoe has been a big piece of forging this slow comeback here for the Seahawks.
Yeah, that is absolutely monumental. To bring it to 7-4, now you really are in that situation where one good inning, you can produce 3. It's very difficult to score 4 in an inning, but 3 is manageable. Few guys on, 2 rounds of good pieces of hitting from 3 straight hitters. If you get 6 hitters to the plate, you could easily score 3.
That pitch gets away, so Canoe will easily take second. Jerome lost that one from Hurley.
And that right there was a correction he tried to make on the curveball that just got past the catcher. And that was spiked to a righty way away from McCarthy.
That ball misses up high. Count 2-0. 1 out, 1 on. Seahawks already have brought in one more run, and this may be it for Hurley.
I wouldn't be surprised if it were, Andrew.
And that's going to do it. So we saw Del Vecchio get pulled on a 2-0 count, and now Hurley. Still waiting for the official sign here. And the Bison will make the change. So Hurley, the graduate student, a fantastic outing here today for him. Bison could not have asked for much more, Niall, from Hurley here today.
No, for a grad student in what could have been his last and final game as a Bison, if this didn't go his way, the pressure was on. He comes out and delivers a gem and keeps them more than just in it. He gives them a lead, 3 runs, as he gives up to the bullpen here for the final 2 2/3 innings of work.
So he goes 6 1/3, gives up the 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, for Hurley. We will step aside while the Bison make the pitching change. Bottom 7 here. Seahawks with 1 run in, looking for more. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. The new pitcher for the Bison is Jack Cable. Seahawks did see him in the second game of their doubleheader. He went 4 1/3, gave up 3 runs. And he'll deal here with 1 out, 1 on, and Will McCarthy already with the 2-0 count.
Yeah, great spot for McCarthy here. Facing a new hitter. He likes to hit lefties. He's facing a velo horizontal lefty, which he normally handles pretty well. Hits over 400 against lefties, or he did so this year. So it's a good spot for him.
Fouls off the first pitch he sees from Cable.
And this right here is the definition of a leverage spot, because what's at gain for the Seahawks if this inning goes in their favor? If they can just score Tyler Canoe from second, a 2-run game, very manageable.
Swing and a miss there from McCarthy. So count is 2-2. Cable comes in, gets 2 quick strikes on the third baseman. Two count, 1 out, 1 on. The pitch in the air and foul. Back out over Shepherd Ave.
This is a huge spot. One way or the other, this will go down as a big win for whoever eventually wins this at bat. A lot at stake for both sides right here.
Here's the 2-2. McCarthy pops it up, and again, looks like it's going to drift out of play right in front of the Bison dugout. Run was made for it, but no play.
In this spot, a ground ball to the right side that moves Canoe to third base is considered to be a win for McCarthy, because a wild pitch is something that would score a run, and they need to scratch across one more run here.
Almost there. That pitch got away from Cable. Great job by Jerome to leap up for that.
Well, you can just feel the moment that this pitch is. 3-2 count, huge spot, bottom 7.
Full count. Cable comes set. Now delivers to McCarthy, who swings and misses. A big strikeout for Cable. And there's 2 outs.
Cable fully was very emotional after that strikeout, flexed, as he deserved to do, but he was very emotional after that pitch there.
It's not often you see pitchers come in the middle of at-bats. We've seen it twice here today with 2-0 counts. Both were able to come in and do the job. Breaking ball here to Grover on the outside. Grover's 0 for 2 and has struck out. The pitch. Inside, hit Grover. And he's a little shooken up after that. So that puts runners at first and second with 2 outs.
That could be tough. If I saw that correctly, I think that hit the inner part of his left elbow or possibly the outer part of his right elbow. It does appear to be the inner half of his left elbow, so that would have hit right on the funny bone. That has to hurt.
And we get Gratial. A little bit of time given here for Grover to get set. Shake it off over at first base. Gratial, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He is 2 strikeouts. He is due.
Yeah, this would flip the script entirely. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts isn't exactly, it's definitely not a good day, but he can completely change the understanding of how his day went with a big hit in this spot.
2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 7th. The pitch. Runners go. The throw down to third is not in time. Canoe is safe. Advancing as well is Grover. So it'll be second and third. Gutsy call there from the Seahawks to send Canoe to third.
Yeah, that was a huge risk. I'm not exactly 100% sure of the necessity to get the runner over to third, although it now does put 2 runners in scoring position. That obviously is a game changer, but a lot of risk. It works out. Great job by Gratial there. He was in the box for about 5-6 seconds, decides to call time, step out.
1-1 the count, 2 outs, runners at second and third. The pitch. Gratial will take it. Ball 2. The 2-1 on the outside. Three and 1 the count. Cable in danger of loading them with 2 outs.
With the base open, you could see him go to a slider here, but I think in Gratial's mind it's going to be a fastball, and I have to imagine it will be.
The 3-1. Inside and gets the call. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Big moment here of this game. The pitch. Up high, he walked him. Bases loaded with 2 outs.
That is a really good at-bat there. He saw 2 fastballs at 3-1 and 3-2, up and in. Gratial's a power hitter. It is very tempting. And that, by the way, is his 4th free pass that he's manufactured in the last 2 games. But up there, he had 3-1 and 3-2 fastballs up and in. He holds off of both of them, and that is the most enticing pitch to a power hitter is up and in fastball, especially from a lefty. So great job, Ryan Gratial. Loaded bases.
And they're going to take Cable out. So one of the better arms for the Bison trying to come on in relief. And he is going to get the hook here with 2 outs, and the Seahawks threatening. We will take a break while the Bison make the pitching change. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Commonwealth Coast Conference baseball action on the Salve Athletics Network. We'll be back. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. New pitcher for the Bison is Brendan Duffy. And he will face Tyler Petrosino with 2 outs, bases loaded. Bison going to the senior from Stamford, Connecticut to try and close the door here on the 7th. The pitch offered at from Petrosino. He fans.
Huge spot, obviously, given the situation. Loaded bases, trailing by 3 in the 7th inning, bottom half. I mean, you can't ask for a better setup, especially with one of your all-conference hitters coming to the plate.
The pitch. Swing and a miss again. Petrosino behind 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Huge advantage for the pitcher here. We still haven't seen his off-speed stuff. Only 2 fastballs in the count so far.
The 0-2 from Duffy. Outside, ball 1.
Good hold.
Seahawks have brought across 1 run here in the bottom of the 7th to make this a 3-run game, but obviously the opportunity for more. 1-2 count, bases loaded. Duffy kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss from Petrosino. A big-time strikeout for the senior. That shuts the door on the 7th. The Seahawks strain 3. They do get 1 back, but they'll trail by 3 as we head to the top of the 8th here in Newport.
And welcome back to the top half of the 8th inning here in beautiful Newport, Rhode Island. On a great sunny day, we get the chance to see Will Tierney come out to the mound. What a play by him to start his day. He throws to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out, and 1 PFP.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. Your first pitch, and then also the freshman, you have it hit right back to you. You got to make the play, get it over to first.
Yeah, he was.
That's one way to officially get right into the game.
100%. He was part pitcher, part goalkeeper on that play. That was hit right back to him. He didn't really block that with his glove. That was a whole body block on the ball. Picks it up, throws to first. Great play. And he follows that up with an electric slider. Potentially a cutter. Either way, a breaking ball inside to a righty. Strike 1. He does it again. This one's hit right center field. Brandon Grover is there. He reaches up and he makes the catch. 3 pitches and 2 outs. All pitches have been strikes from the left-handed freshman, Will Tierney. So a great job by him early here. This is exactly what the coaching staff wanted when they put Will Tierney out. He's not done yet. Job's not done, of course. But to get his 2 outs as quickly as he has and give the Seahawks another chance to bat quickly after pushing across a run and loading the bases in the bottom half of the 7th. Another strike there. This would be a momentum boost for sure. Another great pitch, and he's ahead 0-2. Here's Will Tierney. He has his set. Wind up, kicks, delivers, up high, good pitch. He missed there, but it changed the eye level of the hitter. It was competitive enough for the hitter at the plate to have to be cognizant of what he just saw. I wouldn't be surprised to see Will go with his slider on the inner half here. 1-2 pitch, slider, inner half, got him swinging. What a pitch. Will Tierney, and that was exactly what he was looking to do here in the top half of the eighth. An inning that lasted, or a half inning that lasted less than 2 minutes. The Seahawks will take it. We head to the bottom half of the eighth, chasing 7-4. Well, welcome back to a huge spot here at Reynolds Field. Now someone alongside Andrew Pizzelli. We're watching Chris Veneruso lead it off for the Salve Regina Seahawks. Bottom 8 baseball hit left side. Third baseman is there. He takes his time, delivers a strike to first in time for the first out of the inning.
Well, Veneruso now is 0 for 4 in the game for what has been one of the Seahawks' best and hottest hitters in the last month.
And that brings it to Matt D'Amato. One out here in the bottom of the eighth. The leadoff hitter, D'Amato, has walked once but is 0 for 3. He did come around to score. He shows bunt. Takes it. Ball well below the zone.
This has been a great job here today, though, from this Bison pitching staff. I mean, Hurley got it started and had some very quick and efficient early innings that allowed him to go deep. And as that one's hit foul. As opposed to yesterday, you know, the Seahawks, we said today it was their first extra base hit in 2 days, the home run from Canu. The bats have not been consistently lively. You have not been able to string together a lot of hits. And yesterday that didn't matter because the Rams were walking guys so much. Today, the Bison much more in control with their pitching staff. And that's been the difference here today. The Seahawks do have 7 hits, but most of them have been scattered.
Yeah, stringing hits together is obviously one of the most important parts of baseball. One hit doesn't do much for you. When you string together a few in a row, that's when you start to produce the runs. We have had them split. D'Amato 1-2. Well inside. That evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Bison wanted that from the dugout. It was inside. Down to 2-2 count for D'Amato. He swings right side, could get through. Nice play by the first baseman to field it. Throws first in time. That's some good defense right there by the Bison. And now they have 2 outs. And that makes it tougher on the Seahawks. Coming into the 8th as they were down by 3, you could still have a play or potentially even two, but you could scratch across one run by sacrificing an out for a run. Once you get to the ninth and you're down by 3, you're not playing that type of baseball anymore. You're playing a string together hits, hopefully get some extra base hits, and score runs, producing them purely based off of hitting. If they could maybe get one in the 8th, sacrificing out, they would do that. Obviously, that's no longer the case. Not possible. 2 outs, bottom 8.
But we've seen plenty of 2-out magic from the Seahawks in the last week.
That we have. Against Endicott, all of their runs came with 2 outs in both games. That one from Cicada popped up. Out of play. Counts 2-1. Cicada has one of the 7 base hits from the Seahawks today. It was a single in his last at-bat, and he ended up coming around to score. And he gets hit by a pitch here. He'll take over first base.
Well, again, it does not matter how. Just get on.
And base runners are crucial, especially as we get to the heart of the order. We now have 3, 4, 5 on deck, up and in the hole. Dylan Ketch will lead it off. We're chasing 3, as we've said. A nice righty versus lefty matchup here. And also, the man whose name is Clutch Ketch happens to be up right now. And I'll tell you what, this is the spot for some clutch hitting.
Seahawks all-time leader in hits. Looking for and needing one right now.
First pitch swung on, popped up behind the plate.
Catches 1 for 4 on the day. Does have 1 strikeout. Only Seahawk who's had a great day at the plate has been Canu. 3 for 4. Has the home run as well.
And he's on deck.
Would love to see him get a chance with runners on.
Great take by Dylan Ketch. He has seen that pitch a number of times today. A changeup from a right-handed pitcher that breaks away from the lefty. It is easily, from conversation with left-handed hitters, the most deceptive pitch that a pitcher can throw. A right-handed changeup to a lefty. He holds off it there. Good job, 1-1. He shows bunt, lays it down, and it looks like it's going to be fair, but it is foul. The catcher and third baseman converge. Touch it once it gets across that foul line. Great bunt. Good wherewithal to understand that the third baseman was playing back and he could put it down. However, now there are 2 strikes. Pitcher has the set, 1-2 count. And that one's well upstairs. Looked to be a fastball. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Dylan Ketch at the plate. He's the 2-hitter. And a beautiful changeup from the pitcher there. And that will do it for the 8th inning as we head to the top half of the 9th. The Seahawks are looking for some 9th inning magic. It's 7-4. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Reynolds Field. 9th inning here in this Commonwealth Coast Conference tournament game. Will Tierney will face Brennan Hyde, who's 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Popped up on the infield. And drifting into foul territory, the grab is not made. It's dropped. Dropped in foul territory. A reprieve for Hyde.
Well, that right there is the downside of having a freshman out there for the Seahawks. Will has been phenomenal today, Tierney on the mound. But he goes over and attempts to field the fly ball in foul territory. And with Will McCarthy over there and calling for it, Tierney does have to simply just get out of the way. He's competitive. He wants to have the play, but made for a problematic catch for the third baseman, McCarthy.
So he delivers 2 strikes now to Hyde. Tierney fires it in. Chop to third. Grabbed by McCarthy. The long throw skips into the glove. No, in and out of the glove of Canoe. Had it for a moment, and then it popped free. That is just the way the ball has bounced for the Bison here today and against the Seahawks.
Yeah, it was a very nice play, almost, is how you say it, because it would have been a really nice hop by Canoe that he fielded cleanly, but instead he just wasn't able to control it.
This one inside away from catch, and Hyde will take second. Seahawks needing this inning to be a swift one.
And I think right now would be a really good time for somebody to go talk to Will Tierney if somebody does happen to do that. He's a freshman. That had to be a weird situation, knowing because he does know that he messed up that foul ball that went foul a little bit, but he's been pitching phenomenally, and then the error happens behind him. He just has to keep himself in this game and continue to pitch the way that he has because he's been phenomenal, but it appears that this could be a little bit of a hiccup in what has been a very good day for him.
They'll run for Hyde now. Stanley Sipkis, freshman from Marlborough, Connecticut, will take the place at center. This pitch home, and they got Sipkis leaning. He takes off for third. The throw will be there!
Well, that was beautiful. Really good job by the Defensive Player of the Year in the CCC, Dylan Ketch. Sees the runner caught between second and third. He hoses him back to second base. Runner takes off for third. Beautiful throw by Cicada, the captain, over to Will McCarthy, who makes a nice tag.
That is massive. The out and getting the runner off the base paths. Here's a fly ball, and it will drift foul.
Well, I'll tell you what, when the coach pinch ran, they were not looking for that, I can tell you that.
This is Kleinhens now at the plate. Knocks it foul once again. He's 3 for 4 on the day, and really it's his helmet that got all of this going for the Bison. He got hit with a ball at third base way back in the 4th inning for Nichols. Just trying to return to third. Dylan Ketch just trying to throw down and chase him back there. Deflected off his head. And that really started the whole run here for the Bison, who put up 5 runs in that inning and have been in control since.
Yeah, when a coach tells a player to use his head, that's not normally what they mean, but it worked out this time.
Another fouled pitch by Kleinhens. Two and two the count with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Into left field, down for a base hit. The 11th hit of the day for Nichols. And it has been a well-rounded effort for the Bison. And he's now 4 for 5 in the game, is Kleinhens.
In any game, that is a superb superb job by a hitter. But in an elimination game in the playoffs, you can't ask for more than that out of your five-hole hitter.
Pitch is down low from Tierney to Ben Jerome. Fly ball, right field. Petrosino back, looking into the sun, makes the grab. Quickly throws back into the infield. 2 gone.
That was a nice play by right fielder Tyler Petrosino. Sun coming down right in his eyes. Line drive into the sun, moving to his right. He's still able to keep his feet under him, puts the arm up, makes the catch. Nice play, 2 outs.
Tierney trying to keep this a 3-run game. Delivers low here. Good block by Dylan Ketch. 2 outs, 1 on here for the Bison. Top of the 9th. Facing Brad Ellis, the first baseman, who's 1 for 3 with a strikeout. Chopped on the ground. Canoe will flip to Tierney, who will tag the bag for the out. A tough, stumbling play made there by the freshman, but he gets the out and will give the Seahawks a chance. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Nichols 7, Salve 4. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Reynolds Field. Last gasp here for the Seahawks, who have been trailing all afternoon. And their best bat here today will lead things off, Tyler Canoe. And he will take the first pitch for a strike. Nichols lost yesterday, facing elimination here today. Canoe knocks it foul. And he's behind 0-2.
Tough count to be in here. The pitcher's been able to go with a curveball, a changeup, and a fastball like Hurley was able to do. However, the difference here is the fastball that Canoe is currently seeing is in that 84 to 88 range versus Hurley being in the 80 to 84 range. So a bit more juice on the life of the fastball.
Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. Duffy gets Canoe looking for the first out of the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, for Duffy, that's about as good as you're going to get. Four-seam fastball up in the count. You do not want that in the inner quadrants of the plate. He locates that on the black on the outer half. Canoe wasn't happy with the call. It was close, but that's a good pitch 0-2 nonetheless.
Here's Will McCarthy. He swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Count 1-1.
Great hold for McCarthy there. He wanted that pitch, but did a great job of keeping his hands back.
Knocked foul. Count 1-2. Duffy with the long look from Jerome. Now he delivers. Hit in the air. And that one will get down. A perfectly placed ball. It'll be a double for Will McCarthy, hitting it in between Valentin and Karen. Seahawks with a little bit of life here. 1 out and 1 on.
Well, that's just absolutely big time from the junior third baseman. The Seahawks, this game's not over. There are 2 outs left. The game's not over until the game is over. Yes, the Seahawks are chasing 3, and that's certainly a lot to overcome with 1 out in the 9th. But, you start to put together some hits, and that's where you get somewhere. And the junior third baseman, Will McCarthy, with a big-time double.
And immediately in scoring position here for Brandon Grover. The pitch, he shows bunt, and instead he will take the pitch. And it's going to be a ball. That one did not miss by much. Favorable call there for the Seahawks. Duffy now comes set on the 1-0. Again showing bunt, and it's fouled off the bat. Count 1-1.
Brandon Grover puts a lot of time and attention into being a very good bunting player. He's very good at the bunt. Missed there. Lucky it went foul.
1-1 count. 1 out, 1 on here for the Seahawks. Trying to stay alive in this game. The pitch. Inside and behind Grover, it skips away. So that will move McCarthy over to third. He is now 90 feet away from home.
That makes this at-bat all that much more important. Of course, every at-bat is important up until the game ends. But if Brandon Grover is able to get on base here, the tying run comes to the plate, and they're in the power part of their lineup.
2-1 the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss from Grover. McCarthy at third. 1 out. 2-2 count here. Duffy delivers. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Grover. 4th for Duffy here in relief. And the Seahawks are down to their final out.
I mean, all you can say is that is just a really impressive job by Duffy. He has control of his curveball, changeup, and fastball. In that count 2-2, he elevates the fastball rather than doing what was expected by Grover there, which would be going to a changeup. Nice job.
This one is knocked foul. Matt Neal pinch hitting for Kyle Platt, who would come in to run for Ryan Gratial.
Talk about a big spot for a freshman.
McCarthy at third. The 0-1. Fouled off. Seahawks down to their final strike.
Two good swings by the freshman, Matthew Neal. However, that does put him down to the count 0-2.
Bison dugout on their feet. The 0-2. Fouled off. Drifting into foul territory, but a long run. Ellis makes the grab in foul territory. Behind the dugout, running off the hill. An incredible play for the first baseman. That one he could have easily let go. Decided to make the run, duck basically to the side of the dugout, down the hill. And that is how the game ends. The Bison come into Newport and stun the defending champs on their field. They jumped on top early. They did it with pitching. They did it with timely hitting. An impressive win, Niall, here today for the Bison, especially facing elimination.
Yeah, when you're able to take advantage of mistakes like that, it just goes a really long way. Back in the top half of the fourth inning, they had the errors they were able to capitalize on, as well as a walk and some timely hitting, and they were able to score 5 runs in the top half of the fourth, all of which were unearned. Of course, there were only 2 other runs scored in the game besides that inning. The Seahawks were able to put up 4, but that wasn't enough to overcome the severe deficit that they were put in. Nonetheless, it was a great job by the Nichols team, all in all today, especially by the starter. He came out and really pushed for a team that needed it.
Yeah, Hurley came in and had just a fantastic outing against this very powerful Seahawks lineup. So the Bison, they survived to fight another day. The Seahawks now, they will face elimination. One game is final here today, aside from this one. Western New England tops Suffolk 13-5, so the Rams season concludes. Western New England will continue on. Nichols beat Salve here today, and one game still going up in Beverly. 3-3 now, all tied up between Roger Williams and Endicott. And for the Seahawks, the math had been pretty simple. Win each day, and you can win your 3rd straight conference title. Now things get a little more hairy, a little more complicated.
Yeah, we're going to have to go with a few more starters than we'd like to have gone with. The plan had been to go what we saw yesterday in terms of starting Maybach today with Clark. Tomorrow would have been most likely the left-handed pitcher Dominic Parachi. And then in the championship game 4 on Saturday, back to Maybach. However, now with today's loss, there's going to be an extra game to play, which means we are going to have to go with another starter. There will be a story that unfolds as to who will be the starter in one of the elimination games tomorrow. We'll come to find that out tomorrow.
So we'll have the matchup and all that information on salveathletics.com. We know this. There will be baseball on Reynolds Field tomorrow afternoon. So I want to thank our entire staff and production crew, Mike Pizzi, for helping to provide live statistics throughout the broadcast. For Niall Silberman, I am Andrew Pizzelli. Hope you enjoyed this one, folks. Nichols defeats Salve Regina in the Commonwealth Coast Conference Tournament. Both teams will still be facing elimination tomorrow. Have a good afternoon, everyone.